You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, happy Monday. All right, so to everyone's great surprise, John's going to be a little late. He went to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes again. I know. Everybody's amazed at that. So we will get a off-the-hand, no spoiler review from John when he finally gets in here. Robbie, your weekend was good?
I had a great weekend. Had a great Robbie week, a great birthday. It was splendid.
A whole week. Why not just make it a month?
I don't want to be greedy or nothing, you know?
Oh my God. Even 6-year-olds don't get a whole week, bro.
Hey man.
All right. So
I one day said Robbie week. People went along with it. Don't blame me.
You're gonna blame it on everybody else. All right, I see how it is. All right, quick shout out. Easy Go Lucky, CJ. What's up, guys? Barlord, CIB. How you doing, bud? Triple B, of course. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? And Weird in the house.
Nope.
Let me see. I don't think I missed anybody. Did I say Mr. Nope? If not, I'm saying it twice.
Nope.
All right. And Kenneth Bird, what's going on, buddy? All right, so we got a ton of stuff tonight. We've got more. Lorena, what's up? We've got more sketch covers than we've ever had in the past, I think. And all right, real quick, out of the way. So get it out of the way. This is your absolute last opportunity to get Space Ghost at cover price.
For now.
All right, for now. But no, seriously, because we're not gonna keep bringing it on as a show. But real quick. We have covers A by Matina, cover B by Jay Lee, cover C by Bjorn Berens, cover D by Michael Cho, cover U by Alex Toth, cover F by Francesco Matina again.
Foil. Cover G, Matina Foil Virgin. Cover I. Cover I is the Berens Virgin, and covers E.
Why I say Matina version?
Because I typed it wrong the first time. I never fixed it 3 weeks ago.
That great, dude.
So,
3 weeks it's been wrong. Okay.
They've had to deal with this 3 times in a row. Space E Ghost is the black galaxy blank, and letter V is the Space Ghost white blank. There you go. Right. Oh yeah, and D. There's also a foil Dynamite.com version of Michael Cho's cover.
All right, they are all cover price $4.99 except for cover F, the foil. Matina foil is $9.99. Let's see, the Virgin foil is $29.99, and cover I, the Virgin is $50. Otherwise, the rest of them are all $4.99.
And the website exclusive is $29.99.
All right, so that would be cover F.
No,
correct.
No, that's the Michael Cho with the in red foil de.com.
Dude, you need to fix this.
It's okay. Listen, it's 3 weeks old. It's okay.
All right, yeah.
If they didn't get Space Ghost net by this point.
All right, so let me see here. So Robbie, so what was the movie again
for tonight?
What?
For the one we're doing tonight, we're doing a Risky Business.
What was the okay? All right. So wait, you did Days of Thunder already?
Days of Thunder was last week. This week's Risky Business.
Okay. So gotcha. All right. Any great insights on Days of Thunder?
On Days of Thunder, no. On Risky Business, yes. There's going to be some great insights because the movie is a really kind of prophetic vision of yuppie culture and where the direction, like the 80s was going to take capitalism. right? With the Reaganomics and all that stuff,
I
right?
think Boxers became a big hit after that movie.
Which one?
Like the fighters or the pants?
The underwear.
The underwear.
Boxers.
Oh yeah. That, and then of course Bob Seger, everybody had a resurgence on that song because of that movie.
True.
It was the first
That is
movie
true.
to use In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. It was a year before Miami Vice really kind of pushed that one over the top.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I was in
Yeah.
college when Miami Vice came out. We'd like gather in the student union with the big TV to watch it. And the
Yeah, I
soundtrack.
loved Miami Vice. I'd watched that when I was a kid and I just adored it. I still think it's a
That was
great
the big
show.
thing, you know. Everybody had the sports coat with the sleeves pushed up, and that was the big thing, man.
Yeah. I
So with
loved
the
it.
Ferrari, oh my God, that was a great show. So Preston, no, we have not been Comcasted yet. So you are right in time. Marcus, yes, Ray-Bans when they were hot.
Dude, let me tell you this. That movie boosted the sales of those Ray-Bans like
Yep,
200.
the Wayfarers.
There was like 2,000% is what it's
Mhm.
reported. Like Blues Brothers and Risky Business made Ray-Ban. And
Yeah, no doubt.
Tom Cruise helped too, because then the Aviators from Top Gun, right?
Yeah,
They
but-
became the
but
two
the-
most popular glasses out there.
the Ray-Bans were very specific. It was just that one style, the what they call them, Wayfarers.
The
or something like
Wayfarers, yeah.
that. Yeah, that was the only one, which was enough. The aviator glasses after Top Gun, you're right. Yeah, Corey, I agree, but that kind of came after the fact. So, but yeah, well, Marcus, yeah, but I remember Weird Science. All the movies around that era kind of had a little bit of a teenage.
Uh-oh. It's happening, Jay.
There it goes.
You know, I think he's
Well-
talking about some of the plots in some of these movies from the 80s, Jay, that would
fantasy kind
definitely
of
not
element to it, right?
fly today.
So, isn't
You know,
That's true. That's true.
think about
No, I'm
Soul
the
Man.
one having bad storms over here, and they're the ones always freezing.
Yep, that's how it do.
All right, did we go
Did
out?
you say Soul
I don't
Man,
know.
Robbie?
Yeah, how about Soul
Oh,
Man? Try to make
holy
that
crap.
today.
No thanks.
Can you hear
man.
me?
Hey, Alex, what's up? Y'all back?
Well, kind of stop motion
No.
right now.
Oh yeah. Wait. Are we here?
My favorite part, Jay, is because they
Yeah, but
don't
it's not
know.
nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Who men-
So they just-
who mentioned it?
8 minutes in.
Okay.
That's
Alabama
right.
internet better than Jersey's.
Yeah, Alabama internet, any place internet better than right here. Jay, are we back? Or are we still choppy?
Who's ferociously typing? Is that Alex?
Sorry.
Calm
At least
down,
you can hear
brother.
something.
Hold on.
We don't want to.
Okay, yeah, y'all are back. I can see Alex
Not gonna make
moving
it
now.
much better. Okay.
At least
This
I
is,
can-
okay.
at
This
least
is
the
a
data's
very
going
sensitive
through.
mic. All right. All right. So, all right. Let's do the grab bags first. As always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher, retail value of $40. As always, we got it for $5 for the group. Then we have the Dynamic Forces grab bag 3-pack, 3 random titles, DC, Marvel, and Indie. And we've got that for $1 a comic at $3 a pack.
Yes.
Then we have the DF grab bag 7-pack, 7 random DC, Marvel, or Indie titles. And we got that at $1 a book at $7. And then we have DF grab bag 15-pack. And we've got same deal, random 15 books, Marvel, DC, and Indie. And we've got that for $1 a book at $15.
I'll put these together for you. Make sure these are good packs.
There we go. All right. So XMen random 20-pack grab bag, 20 random XMen titles from 90s with a chance of the 80s and 2000s. And we've got that at $1 a book for $20. If you buy all 5 of the grab bags, we're going to deeply discount it to $25. All right. There we go. Oh, and then, of course, the DF mystery box. We've got in the mystery box, you randomly selected. You have 1 9.8, 1 virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 bag issues. Guaranteed retail value of $200. We've got it tonight for $100. All right.
You know what?
So
Let me do something a little bit spicy like we did last time. Last time we discounted a little bit and we gave an extra slab this time. This time we're not going to take $20 off, but what I'll do is if anybody wants this mystery box for $100, you'll get this mystery box. If anybody wants this mystery box plus another guaranteed 9.8, we'll do it for $120. So you're getting an additional 9.8 for $20, which is insane because it costs $65 to get anything graded, let alone grading fees are $25 for a modern book anyway. So if anybody wants the mystery box base tier special, it'll be $100 for what you see on the screen, or I'll do $120 for what you see on the screen with another guaranteed 9.8, and you can even select the publisher of this new book. So Marvel, DC, Dynamite, or Indie, you can let us know if you do want that. But again, that is the $120 mystery box. If anybody wants to go on a gamble.
all right. So tonight we have a new artist to throw into the mix of sketch covers, believe it or not. All right. They're getting better, people, I'm telling you. All right, so let's hop to
Should we show our giveaway first?
yeah, go ahead.
So there's two giveaways tonight. The first one we have is Mr. Awesome Producer Man. I just threw it up. So if you're able to see it at all, we're going to stall. Oh, look at that. We've got this one right here. And this one is, as you can tell by the cover, this is obviously Jennifer Blood, Volume 2, Number 9. Jennifer Blood, Volume 2, Number 9. And the other is Archie's 65th Anniversary Bash from the late 2000s. This is from 2006. This features the Veronicas. If you look in the top right, look, it's the Veronicas. There you go. This is unstamped, and for your free pleasure, just by doing hashtag today is
Hashtag, let's see. Hashtag EXP.
Hold on, you're freezing.
Planet of the Apes. Why not?
Okay.
POTA.
Nope. Planet.
That's a difficult hashtag. Hashtag
Robotic noise.
Yeah.
Yes. Hashtag.
So, all right. So it is hashtag EXP, Planet of the Apes, all lowercase. God, why is it so bad today? It really pisses me off, I swear. I think it's the time that we start the show because I think everybody goes home. No, seriously. I think everybody, TJ, I like that one better. That's right. President's got it right. That's it. Can make you type some letters today. I'm having a Nick moment. All right.
Planet of the Apes.
So one hashtag for both giveaways.
EXP Plain Toft Heaps.
Marcus.
EXP Plain Toft Heaps.
Why is he so loud?
I don't know. It's in my life.
I don't know. He types loud
Microphone
too.
works. Trust me. They can hear you typing. They can hear you talking. All right. Yeah, Marcus. Yeah, I don't know if you're joking or what, but Apes are running Comcast. Now that one I like, Corey. All right. So let's see. Should we? Yeah, it's all funny until we cut out. Lorena. All right. Let me see. So I've been watching a lot of bad movies this weekend. I don't know what the hell happened. But there's some bad ones out there. And I had a real, how do you put it? A kind of a war conspiracy kind of angle to it. Like I watched London Down again and that kind of thing. It was Secret Service. Man, there's some bad movies that were made. I saw one called The American with George Clooney in it. Oh my God, it was horrible.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Slow. Yeah, it was bad. He's an assassin who's emotionally conflicted, and he's in a small town in Italy. Sounds a little bit like Equalizer 3, right? And he's fallen in love with the town, and meets a nice woman. Well, no, not really. She's a prostitute, but anyway, starting to fall in love, and he gets shot in the end. Sorry for the spoilers, but I'm saving you trouble because you don't want to watch this movie. It was so slow. I was expecting to see a little bit more action. I'm good with bad. I watched shoot, who is it? Not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Steven Seagal.
No, God no. Steven Seagal, crazy man. He didn't really actually know any martial arts. Geez, he's been in Fast and Furious.
Vin Diesel?
Jason Statham?
No. Yes. It was called Redemption. Oh my God, what a depressing movie that was. Okay, same thing. He's a guy, ex-military, beats people up. But the whole movie was about him being homeless, and he lucks into some rich guy's flat or whatever, and trying to escape people that were beating him up. And him like kind of turning his life around a little bit, with the guy's money and clothes and living in his flat until he returns from New York. That was a weird kind of depressing movie too. I don't know. Jason should just no, dude. Don't try to get deep with action. Just stick to the action. Don't try to get deep, man. So yes, so I saw some really bad movies this weekend.
Wow, it sounds very fun, Rex.
I have not seen The Beekeeper. I've heard good things about that, but you actually have to pay for The Beekeeper. So yeah, it's encouraged me to get rid of Max.
Is Beekeeper better or worse than B movie?
As a poem.
You mean B movie with Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes.
So yeah,
there's
but
a page on Facebook. There's a page on Facebook that I follow where it's a guy who like has an entire room of the B movie on VHS or something like that. Like maybe it's DVD, but like just the same movie, like tons of them.
I'd watch the B movie again. It wasn't bad. These were bad movies, really bad. It actually made London Down look good.
See, these movies you mentioned, I haven't seen, so I think I got a good like. I'm like Neo over here dodging bad movies.
Let me tell you, dude. There's so many bad movies out there. You could fill an entire weekend doing it. That's
I would say there's probably more bad movies than good movies.
Well, that goes without saying. There are always more bad movies than good movies, but now there are a lot of bad movies because Okay, Dwayne DePayne. I'm interested to know.
Dwayne was the one guy. He was that one guy that saw the movie this weekend.
I heard it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not doing so well, is it?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, you know what? Come on, both of them, him and Emily Blunt. Okay, you came off the two biggest films. Okay, last year. You can't expect every film you make is going to be awesome, right?
It's kind of because of the writer strike and the actor strike, we're in a weird year where a bunch of those tentpole movies aren't ready. Like we got Deadpool and Wolverine, but this was initially supposed to be Deadpool and Wolverine's weekend. This is always usually the weekend of Free Comic Book Day, right? Or right around that is usually where it kicks off the summer movie season, and there's usually a big movie, and usually it's a Marvel one. We didn't have anything. So we had Fall Guy, and it just seems like people are like,
Yeah, I love the show too with what's his face?
Lee Majors.
Yeah, Lee Majors, $6 Million Man. I mean, I love the show. It was great. Just like I liked Shatner and TJ Hooker. Okay, the cop show. I mean, they were great. Why do you have to remake them? I love Starsky and Hutch. You didn't need to make a movie.
My silly William Shatner show I used to watch was Rescue 911. Does anybody remember that? Where it was like they would recreate like 911 cases.
Yes. Of course.
I used to watch that. And I used to watch what was the Jonathan Frakes one? Was it like Fact or Fiction or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, dude.
Yeah.
That's the best things ever. the memes from that show.
Oh yeah. I think if you've seen the supercut of him just being
open the door.
There's like a supercut of him just being like, nope, gotcha. Nope, you're wrong. Nope, wrong. It's just a supercut of William Riker telling you that you're wrong.
Has the toaster ever killed anybody?
All right. Yeah, Marcus. I don't think so, pal. All right. So before we got to go to break, I want to introduce a new artist into our fold. Thanks to Mariano. It is Immortal Thor #1, signed by XMen, signed with XMen 97, Cyclops cover sketch by Tracy Medina.
Tracy Medina.
All
A lot of Jim Lee
suggested
energy in
retail
there.
of $129.99. And we've got it tonight for $75. So this is a debut.
Debut piece.
I've seen some of her other work. It is quite good. I got to admit, it is quite good. I'm sure she's going to get a lot of work here at Dynamite. But as you can see, it works. It totally works. It's funky cold Tracy Medina. You know, it's funny how that song's title works for everything. Scott Bakula, in terms of Quantum Leap. I used to love Quantum Leap. Marcus. All right, so there we go. Tracy Medina. I expect we're going to see more work from her. I don't know what yet. I've seen some of the other stuff that she's done, and she is right up there with Jessica Court, Dan Neidlinger. You know, I can't even begin to tell you. Mar has worked hard to find these people and filter them out, so to speak, and he's got a good batch here. So I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff from her. Jay, we got to go with 2-4, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to throw one more sketch cover up there before we go to break. All right. So Wonder Woman, #1, signed with Wonder Woman cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We've got this for $75
on a Wonder Woman 1 facsimile blank.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of making the yellow blanks work, which doesn't seem like it should, but it does.
Well, I'm not doing a thing, Robbie. I mean, yeah, it's like, Mar and the artist.
If you like The Simpsons,
what?
I don't know.
A Simpson would look great on a yellow blank cover. You're right.
I don't see what the context would be. Do you?
The Simpsons are yellow.
Yeah, I know what color they are.
You could have like Marge dressed as Wonder Woman.
They're invisible. Right? The invisible Simpsons. All you see are the eyes, and Homer's like few strands of hair. All right, so we're gonna go to break. Our first one. Hopefully, John will be here. That movie must have run long, dude. I texted him. He said he's on his way, so we'll see. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it.
Order Battle Quest comics at your local comic shop today.
Look who I found. Okay.
What's going on,
Retirement.
everybody?
Retirement. It's hard. It's really hard.
Hey, I had to leave 2 family members at a bar and told them I would be back in about an hour and a half or so.
All right. So
And they had that look of terror on their face. I said, "Don't worry, I'll get the check."
Are
when
they-
I'm done." Yeah, I could see the idea of reaching into their pockets for stuff was like terrifying to them. I was like,
I
"No,
really
got
got to hang out with you more. All right. So John was also being with family members, watching Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Say CJ, hey,
And
everybody.
we were just talking about that because I'm really enjoying this iteration. Okay. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed War of the Planet of the Apes. That's the one with Woody Harrelson.
Nelson.
I like the twist, that they're overcome with the disease, and that's why mankind has lost the power of speech. So
They've kind of put a little bit more thought into this, and that's exactly right. This virus, the humans blame the apes. Really, it's our own fault. It's always our own fault, right?
I know
And
it's
that's
more
sort
of
of-
every story.
But it is the moral of every story. But yeah, it turns out it makes them smarter and us stupider. Which, you know what, that might not be a bad idea, but hey, Triple B. But the story goes from there. And I think this last movie should probably be the last movie because I think I've told the story 4 times
Right.
now, and we've got multiple comics, TV shows, fan films, the original 5, 6 movies. This is an idea I think that kind of comes into fashion. Somebody comes up with a cool idea, they do it for a while, and then it's like, okay, I get it. Talking Apes, we're done.
No, I mean, you had the original, which obviously was the original. Then you had the Mark Wahlberg one, which was a one shot, which wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
It's
I don't know
bad.
how
It's bad, Rex. It's bad. It's bad.
it wasn't
They
bad.
claimed it was based heavily on the novel, and all I could say is whoever wrote that statement, you didn't read the novel.
It's just like, but when he lands and society is all apes, it felt like that was kind of all right. We need a twist, so we're gonna just chuck this in here at the end, right? So it didn't really fit. Okay, I don't want to say it was bad. It was not good, but I don't want to say it was bad. But
I'll say it's bad. I'll say
Okay.
it for you. I'll say it for all of us. That movie
So
stinks.
then there was the other one
There's
where,
some movies you can put Mark Wahlberg in where he works.
yeah, that was
I don't
awful.
think anything genre they put him in works.
Well,
I think if you need a cop on the streets of
Right.
Boston or something, it's
Right.
fine.
Yeah,
When you're
like he's
talking
great
about
in The Departed, right? But
right,
he
right.
doesn't
No,
make
no,
it-
Stuff
I
like
agree with
that
that.
works, but Transformers, Planet of the Apes,
Yeah, I would
The
agree with that.
Happening.
no.
The
I would agree with
happening,
that,
whereas
but I
I like
wouldn't
to
put
call
it
it
all on-
the
on-
crappening.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it all on Marky Mark.
No,
Okay,
that
it was
version of Planet of the
it
Apes.
wasn't well thought
So
out.
Tim Burton, right? You got Tim Burton's girlfriend in an ape suit dancing around. You're like, look, I get it, man. You're having a ton of fun. You gave us Batman, so everybody gives you a pass thereafter.
Right.
And I'm fine with that. I understand it. But,
The next one was okay, but it felt like you were retelling the story.
James
it was
Franco. The only thing James Franco is good in is when he's playing James Franco in like
True.
a bro comedy. Right?
True.
He doesn't. I know he likes to think he has like the acting ability of Seth Rogen or whatever, but my friend, you do not.
Yeah. No,
You
it
Let me
just
was
ask
don't.
you a question. This Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, does this follow that Matt Reeves trilogy, or is it like a whole new thing on its own?
It's like a very distant extension.
Okay.
Like we'll say it's I don't even want to say it's a sequel, but it's a continuation of the story many years later. But I wouldn't say
So
they
like if
abandoned.
somebody hadn't seen the previous 3, which I haven't, would you be able to go into this and watch it for what it is, or would you
Yes.
be?
Oh yeah,
at-
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I always say this: their storytelling style with this stuff. We see David Avalone do it with Elvira comics. All right, maybe you missed the first 2 issues of Elvira H.P. Lovecraft. You open Elvira H.P. Lovecraft 3, and everything you needed to know that you didn't get told by the title is in a very short paragraph on usually like the inside cover.
So
We're not talking about brain surgery here.
So I want to let you know.
JD, this takes place a couple hundred years after the last movie. They've tried to move away from the whole.
So we made the giveaway hashtag EXP Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
just because it was on the mind.
I hadn't seen my wife's cousins. They hadn't come up for a while. They don't really have the,
Okay, that was a weird segue.
Well,
We're
no,
still on the
They were like, they were like, I told them, I said, hey, look, I know where there's a bar, I know there's a movie theater, and I know where there's a hotel, all within stumbling distance. And they were in because I didn't want them at my house.
Smart man. All right. So, the Caesar trilogy, I think that was something about this. It's like the one with Woody Harrelson. When you discovered it was a disease that robbed, the human species of speech and gave it to the apes, it was that Statue of Liberty moment for this series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what was missing in that first iteration and that group of the group of movies prior to this was you didn't have that. You didn't have something new. The whole concept was new. Man's society was fractured. There was this disease going on. They were at war, and Caesar leading his people to the promised land.
I think they're doing a great job, and Marvel has is the imprint 20th Century Fox is the name of the actual imprint.
Right.
They've done a few ape stories, and I think they've done a good job of sort of filling in the blanks. You know what I mean? So you kind of get they really focused on the disease aspect of it.
Right.
There's the CDC and the United Nations, and there's a ship, and they're the only cure. Everyone's blaming the apes for the disease. And somebody comes up with the idea the apes aren't the cause of the disease, they're the cure. Meanwhile, mankind goes on a wild thing and starts trying to kill every ape they find.
Yeah.
So they do a really good job. I just think we've had stories, this, that, and someone in the theater said they're working on a series.
Isn't there a Disney Plus series in the works or something?
Yeah. What?
There's a Disney Plus series in the works or something, I think.
That's what I've heard, but that sounds super expensive to me. And I got Eisner sitting there every chance there's a microphone in his face saying they're doing less and less and less.
Right.
So I don't know. Take it for what it's worth.
We'll see what happens.
Go see the movie though; it's super entertaining, and the comics are good. The comics were good way back when that Marvel did, and the comics are really good now. There's a bunch of publishers that have kind of jumped on Planet of the Apes over the years. Some did newer takes, most did classic. It's good stuff. If you like it, it's good stuff. If Planet of the Apes isn't your thing, well, you probably want to skip this one too.
Right.
What would you say, John, is your favorite of the original franchise?
Oh, that one's easy. My favorite of the original franchise is Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which isn't one of the best loved ones, but I kind of love the fact, again, when you're sort of like that person that always knows that the future is terrible, you get Conquest and you're like, I knew it. Sure enough, it's, the United States. David Avalone, we mentioned before, his dad wrote the novelization for that. Michael Avalone wrote the novelization for that. And in the novel, talks more about not in the movie, but in the novel talks about the U.S. is sort of broken up. Right? Like there's a reason he's Governor Brecht, because they've sort of broken up into city states or districts or whatever. And again, and a lot of people forget this. An asteroid came to Earth in the first movie, or in this movie they mentioned, and the disease killed all the cats and dogs. That's how everybody decided to elevate apes.
I remember that.
And that's a nice little twist that kind of gets buried a little bit. But they're sort of, you know what I mean? It's a nice twist. There's a thing where you're looking and there's a statue of a cat and a dog. And these statues are all over in the background. And you're like, what? And it's well, because people, an asteroid came and it had a disease. And what did the disease do? It killed all the cats and dogs. People decided monkeys make great pets. Yeah. Wow. So
I remember that. All right. Let's get back to the sketch covers. You missed this part. We did it right before break.
Did we wish Robbie a happy birthday?
Oh my God, all week already. Enough with his birthday, all right? The man didn't die last year. That's what happened. That's what we're talking about here.
Oh, and John, thank you so much. I was bragging and showing off all my stuff last night on Rockin' Robbie Live.
You're late, shout out. Do this. We were past it. We got past it last week. You bring it back up.
My pal John over there, to celebrate Robbie Week, sent me a copy of The Thing from Another World, Howard Hawks. So thank you so much.
I sent that because that movie was my introduction when I was a little kid to that genre. Before that, as a little kid, I was only allowed to watch certain things. Though that movie was old when I was little. That's a super old movie. My dad would put it on, and one night he's like, "Well, your mom doesn't want you to go to bed and not see this." But I didn't listen.
Oh, wait. Don't answer Marcus. All right, you know what? We're gonna split up the giveaway. All right,
no.
so one giveaway is gonna be #EXP Planet of the Apes. The second giveaway is gonna be who can guess. Okay, at the end when I say go, he's not gonna mention it again. You had to be watching and you had to be listening because he does say, John, how many times he's watched this new Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So. Okay, if you remember, Robbie, don't blurt it out. So, all right, so that's it. Okay, if you were not here at the beginning of the show, or not really the beginning because he was late, if you were not here after the first break and missed it, well, guess. Okay, I will tell you it is a number between 1 and 20.
It is a number between 1 and 20.
Okay, which is not that unreasonable when we're talking about John. Okay, because it's been out how long now?
It came out Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So actually, the number should be high. It should be between 1 and 30, but it's okay. We'll say I will give.
In all fairness, to give people a hint, I will say this: it is not a Marvel movie, and it is not a comic book movie.
What does that have to do with how many times?
Well, for example, when it's an Avengers movie,
don't give him any hints. Okay, this is supposed
I
to be
want people to win stuff, but
somebody's going to win. I gave him 1 to 20. Somebody's going to guess the right number.
But Robbie, that was the reason why I picked that movie. And it was something in the movie. My dad's like, "Look, if it's scary, go to bed. Scary, go to bed." But and I was a little kid, so he was just waiting for me to grab the dog and go running to bed, which is what I always did. And I was watching it, and I was into it. I'm asking my dad's
Jay,
questions.
I'm going to need your help to keep track of these numbers, bud. I'm sorry.
So,
because I ain't writing all this down this early.
Sort of. I already saw the one.
All right. So. Anyway, you missed it because you got here late. All right, so we have a new artist that Mariano's picked up. Her name is Tracy Medina.
Oh.
She did for us an XMen 97 Cyclops.
Nice.
Suggested retail of $129.99. We have it for $75 tonight. It is a premier item.
It is very cool. I mean, right now the X-Men are about as hot as I can remember them being since like the actual 90s. There's the cartoon. You've got, really top creators, people like Gail Simone and some of these other people working on this book. They've kind of restarted it, or maybe restarted it is the right word. This is this is very cool. This is probably the period of time where we actually got Cyclops being cool.
There you go.
In the 90s, right?
Yeah,
because
you're right.
you sort of had him always be the background dude. 90s was some kind of cool stuff. And then the 2000s come and there's Joss Whedon and he's just sort of like this, he's just go, oh, yes, dear. Okay, whatever. Yes, professor. He's carrying the bags again. And I'm just thinking to myself, in theory, he's supposed to be the first X-Men. Right. Why is he always carrying the bags, driving the car?
All right. So then we had, right before the break, I think, Wonder Woman #1 signed with Wonder Woman cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. And we've got it for $129.99. Suggested retail. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yellow's got like that nice sort of old school throwback kind of, you don't see a lot of books that are yellow.
All right, so we have this for $75. Then we have Devil Slayer cover sketch collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99. And we've got this one for $75 tonight. All right, so
I was pestering poor Mariano with both collage ideas and series cell ideas. And he wanted to say put them in an email, but you said it so many times. He's like, but I mean really put it in an email and I'll read
send it to me. All right, so Devil Slayer obviously is penciled, ink, and colored. Not sure about I'm guessing the mountain, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Mariano.
See, I think
that's a deep cut, y'all. Devil Slayer.
Yeah,
that's a real. I just had to Google it. I was like, Devil Slayer. This is crazy. This is a super deep cut.
this is someone where I almost have to ask, like, if Joe Delbiato is like a Devil Slayer fan, because I don't know if I've ever heard of like Devil Slayer as like a commission or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I haven't seen it, but hopefully, you know what? Every book has an owner. There's like a long box for every book, right? Someone will see this and be like, Devil Slayer, I haven't seen it in so long.
All right. So then we have Hulk #1 signed with Steranko homage cover sketch by Joe Delbiato and Mariano Nicieza. There we go. And just
good.
retail for $129.99, and we've got it tonight for $75.
I mean,
it's another really good use of yellow too.
Yes.
And that's not even yellow blank. That's colored yellow.
Yeah, that's people who watch the show by now know I like Jim Steranko, but Steranko, a lot of people don't necessarily think of Steranko when they think of the Hulk, right? Let's be honest. There's way more artists that come to mind if I say the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Steranko probably not in that top, maybe not even in the top 10. No disrespect to him. I've always loved his take on the Hulk because he makes the Hulk, in my opinion, he makes the Hulk look the most human.
Great.
Whereas, you know what I mean? I think you look at Kirby's take, and there's like a real Frankenstein, especially in the early Kirby stuff, there's a real Frankenstein energy in the Hulk. Like you can kind of see where he's going for there. I know it's supposed to be Stan Lee's riff on Jekyll and Hyde, but if you look at the way Kirby draws it, especially when he's gray, it's got some real Frankenstein.
Oh, he's definitely the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely has that look for sure.
And they never sort of, you know, like if you look at, we'll say, the first 10, 15, 20 Hulk artists, none of them sort of thought.
I thought his inspiration was more Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, from what Stan Lee has said at cons, and I think we've almost everybody in the chat's probably seen Stan at a con at some point or another, if you're a comics fan. Stan said his idea for Marvel was to sort of try to modernize the things that wowed him when he was a kid, like Jekyll and Hyde, the Invisible Man, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he thought that that would be the direction that Jack would go. He assumed that, like you would, you know, he assumed he would not look that way.
Right.
He didn't say Frankenstein, but that's what he meant. He's like, Jack clearly had something else in mind. And I think everyone kind of took their cue from that. You look 25, 30 years down the road and you have Dale Keown, amazing artist, still making him kind of look not a lot of humanity there. You know what I mean? Especially in the face. He's there now. There's a Hulk look. You know what I mean? There's sort of a Hulk look. And every, you know, if they draw a Hulk with a human face, it's usually like a different person.
Well, it did kind of veer a little bit away from Kirby, right? With like Sal Buscema and like Herb Trimpe,
Yes.
right? Like, and like that kind of like locked in Hulk's look for about 20 years.
All right, so we got to go to our next break. When we get back, we're going to finish out the sketch covers again, and we have a ton. And it looks like I'm going to...
Is Ron in the chat?
No, he is not. I did not see him, no. So I guess I'm going to have to do some slashing, dicing, and cutting here. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! With Nancy McCann. And Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
Paying for it?
What? Well, of course.
All right, then no. Hell, somebody's paying. If the relative's paying for my hotel, hell, I'd rather be in the hotel. You know. All right, so we're just talking about John's. How shall we say this domestic scenario?
Domestic scenario. I'm one of those people that loves family, but at arm's length.
So
I wish everyone in my family did what Robbie did. Makes an Amazon wish list, all tagged into their address and everything, so I could just go through the thing and say, hey, Uncle Ray, click, there's your gift. Hey, Aunt Gloria, click.
So I would like to get the viewer's opinion. So if you were going to see relatives and the relative offered to pay for you to stay in a hotel, would you rather do that or stay at their house? Personally, I'm saying, hey, if the relative is willing to pay for my hotel room, I'd rather that than stay at their house.
Personally. 100%. Well, I love staying in hotel rooms. And if somebody's like, don't stay at my place and it's awkward, you got to sleep on the couch or like my old bed or something like that, I'd much rather, like if someone's like, I'll pay for it, I'm like, yeah. If somebody right now was like, I'll pay for you to go stay in a hotel tonight in your own town, I would take it.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. Everybody is saying the same thing.
The dog has a torn ligament, and she's kind of going through this therapy with the leg brace or whatever. She just every sound bothers her, right? She's hurt. She's on pain medicine.
Dude, you're reaching. I mean, you're reaching. Just say, hey, I'll pay for the hotel. I'm like, yep, good.
Well, I told them. I was
good.
honest with them because they're like, oh, dude, we'll just crash on the floor and watch movies. And I'm like, how about we do this?
I pay for a 4-star hotel for you.
No. Well, you know what? A couple of years ago, there was a family reunion right at the pandemic, and they were super happy because they were like talking about our house. We still had the pool, and I was like, you know what? We're moving this to Atlantic City. This isn't happening. So people were happy that I got like 6 rooms at the Tropicana, and that's where they stayed. And everybody had a blast. They came and went, you know. There were people who were toasted at 3 in-the-morning, 3 in the afternoon. Knock yourself out.
Hey,
just be here for the Sunday dinner. Everything else.
Day drinking. Can't complain. All right. So, next up, we've got, and I don't, this was the price in the system. I don't know if somebody got it wrong. I don't know what's going on, but whatever. Feral, #1, signed with cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $99.99. Ooh. It is $24.24.
Holy cow.
Oh,
I don't know why it is that price. It was in the system. So if the system has a lower price than I would price it at, I got to go with the system, right? So
that's a steal right there, y'all.
I don't think
somebody should be jumping on that.
I don't think we have ever had we've ever had a Hazer piece that cheap. Okay, unless it was a giveaway, which we've done.
Yeah, somebody said it. It's like it's a cat's eye homage. I think that's exactly what we're kind of doing there.
All right, so creep show maybe. Yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be a horror film homage. I don't know which movie it is.
I think it's Cat's Eye.
a lot of this stuff is a horror movie homage.
Yeah, that's right. So what'd you say, Rob?
I don't know. I thought maybe Cat's Eye, but now I'm.
No, I thought it was Cat's Eye as well. Maybe that's because.
What is the little green creature? It looks so familiar, but I can't place it.
Yeah.
CIB. Yeah, it does. It really does.
Huh. Like that knife and the hood and everything is very familiar for some reason.
But what? All right. So.
Yeah, the cat saves a little girl. That's Cat's Eye. It's
CIB
an old
says,
Germanic legend where cats kill little kids or something. They jump on top of them and suck their life out. Pretty dark and brutal story for the 80s, man. It was.
You act like the 80s were like ancient history, dude. That's the birth of Halloween.
It's the olden time.
You know, Friday the 13th, all those movies. All right.
It's the before time.
All right, the before time.
Yeah, 100. Right. It's Cat's Eye. I just looked up the poster that it's homaging. It is Cat's Eye.
Yeah, it's just that's the first thing that's sort of.
So we've got another good one. Spider-Man: Shadow of the Green Goblin, #1, signed with Nightcrawler, XMen '97 cover sketch.
Wow.
By Tony Scott. Haven't seen his work in a bit.
Yes. Ooh.
Suggested retail of $129.99, and we've got it at $75.
I really like this. It's a great use, like a green blank cover. What are you going to do? Put Nightcrawler on it? What? But it works. It's like a really cool and just
that's why they're artists and we're not. How those sketch covers coming, Rob?
They're doing well. I really like the outline on the Banff cloud, like that pink there. That's super awesome.
Yeah, I'm sort of. This is opportunity for people to get something sort of unique. You know what I mean? There's so much similarity and sameness stuff out there. That's why I sort of love these sketch covers and stuff like that. This just isn't stuff that's everywhere. And I'll tell you, I've said this a bunch of times. If I was starting my collection from Go today, I would very much have moved in a different direction. I would have very much moved into remarks, sketch covers, stuff that not everybody has.
Right. All right.
Yeah, the
so
green
then
makes
we
the
have
colors kind of dark, right? So it makes that white and that yellow of his eyes really pop. I really like.
Yeah, it's sort of like if you said it at first, you'd be like, "No, I don't think so," and then you see it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
Right. All right. So next up, we have Immortal Thor #1, signed with Beast, XMen '97 cover sketch by Jessica Court.
Oh,
it's just a retail of $129.99, and we've got it tonight for $75.
Someone mentioned in the chat, they're talking about one of the X-Men is going to join the Avengers again. And I would very, very much like it to be the Beast. I don't think that's going to be the way they'll go.
Right.
But when the Beast was in the Avengers, they did real well.
I love Beast in the Avengers, mostly probably because of the bromance with Simon, right?
Yep.
But also George Perez was one of my favorite Beasts, period. I loved it. And this is great. Perez, this looks straight out of the animated series. This is fantastic.
Yes. People know Perez was like an aficionado of Hawaiian shirts, right? Mm-hmm. There are multiple times where like Beast and Wonder Man go out on the town and somehow they're coming in at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and Beast is in like a Hawaiian shirt. And I'm like, all right, I get it. That's very cool.
All right. So last one of the night, and we'll do a quick Rex cap. Hulk #1, signed with Hulk versus Namor cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have it tonight for $40. Special price at $40.
Wow. There's a lot of detail in that for $40.
Holy, especially if you're one of those people like underwater scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So CJ, Hulk 118. It's a homage to. Thank you, CJ. All right, so here we go. Rex cap on the sketch covers. Some of these I'm going to slash the price, see where we go, because no movement today. Huh, weird. All right, so first up, we have Wonder Woman #1, signed with Wonder Woman cover sketch by Joe. All right, JD Barry, you got it, buddy.
That's real nice. I'm glad to see somebody pick that up.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
I'll be waiting to see what they do with Stray Dogs. I don't know if have they talked about if that's going to be a movie yet?
It's been optioned for sure. It's been optioned.
I was going to say that's sort of in this day and age where people are looking for sure things. Stray dogs is that's about as much of a short thing as I think you're going to find. People love dogs, and you know what makes people antsy? Dogs in possible danger.
Yes, true.
You know what I mean? Plus, there's a lot of emotional resonance in that story, especially if you're a sucker like me, love dogs, probably way too much than you should or whatever. This story hits a little
Well,
bit.
you're making relative stay in a hotel because the dog has a broken hip.
Well, yes, that's just an added bonus. But
All right, so next up, we've got, let's see, Wonder Woman #1 signed with Wonder Woman cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it $75. I'm going to make that $60 tonight.
oh, nice.
Gonna get some people moving here, man. All right. Next up, we got Devil Slayer cover sketch, cover sketch collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99. We had it $75. Hell, I'll make that $60 tonight.
So I'm guessing the background is what's drawn and the collage is everything in front of it?
Well, I would say Devil Slayer is drawn, obviously. I think the round cosmos, whatever you want to call it, those are the collage portions. I'm guessing.
Okay.
All right, so we got that for $60 as well.
It's just like such an out of left field, you know what I mean? Like Devil Slayer. Like if we were in a bar talking about comics for 12 hours, I don't know if Devil Slayer's name would come up.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. All right, so then we have Hulk #1 signed with Stareka homage cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We have it at $75. I'll make that $60.
Wow, that's a steal for that one. That one's
That's
really,
a steal.
really nice.
All right. So now the XMen 97s. All right. First up, we got Immortal Thor #1 signed with XMen 97 Cyclops cover sketch by new artist Tracy Medina. Suggested retail of $129.99. We've got it for $75. I'll make that $65 tonight.
Hey, if that's this artist's first up, I'd say that's a solid hit.
Oh yeah. No
yeah,
doubt.
I mean that's you know what I mean. That's real good.
We're definitely getting more stuff from her going forward. I have no doubt. All right, then we got Spider-Man: Shadow of the Green Goblin #1 signed with Nightcrawler XMen 97 cover sketch by Tony Scott.
This is just a weird take, but I love it. Like the colors, you know what I mean? This is not what I would expect.
Yeah, suggested retail of $129.99. We have it $75. I'll make that $65. I'm going to do a special tonight for XMen 97. And we're going to lower the price one time only, unless I forget, which is always possible. All right. Then we've got the Immortal Thor #1 signed with Beast XMen 97 cover sketch by Jessica Court. Suggested retail of $129.99. We've got it for $75. I'll make that $65. One time only.
Yeah, I mean, this is straight out of the cartoon. If you're a fan of the cartoon, this is sort of your.
All right. So then we have Hulk #1 signed with Hulk versus Namor cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99. We had it at $40. I'll make it $30.
Wow. This is like the best lineup at the best prices of sketch covers we had in a very long time, I think.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, is this the last show? Is we like fire selling everything?
I'm just trying to get people moving.
Yeah, people seriously start
Got
buying
lots
stuff.
of people watching.
Otherwise, it's just going to be Alex screaming at you for an hour. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
All right. So where'd all the spam go? What are you talking about? We ate it. Is that the purpose? Come on, Triple B. You know that. All right. So let me see here. All right. You know what? Let's cover this week's Dynamite books. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
You still doing those?
Listen to him. All right. Here we go. So this week's, okay, let's start with last week's books. So we had, and these are going to be a cover price. Marcus, you can do anything you want, buddy.
Yeah, seriously, buy books so I can pester Nick for more stuff.
Yeah, buy books so John can pester him for more stuff. Whatever you want to do,
Help
Marcus.
me out, man.
You know
Help me
that,
out.
bud. All right. So let's see. Last week's books. First up, Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, the number 2. And we've got that for cover price at $4.99. And there you go. Covers A, B, C, D, F, and E. Usually it should be E and F, but we'll give Alex a pass.
He's
still learning the alphabet. It's okay, right?
The
We gotta
letters are
encourage
hard,
him.
man.
All right. Okay, next up we have, all right, if you want to start the series from number 1, we still have number 1 available, Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned. Number 1, also for cover price at $4.99.
I would think C is for Celine, right?
I know.
He assigned those. Well, no, I'm just saying. I would think that C is for Celine because it's.
I think that may be exactly what the production.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. I don't know. All right. Then we've got the Wheel of Time, The Great Hunt, number 6, at cover price of $4.99.
Good job,
right.
Alex. He got the A and B orders right that time, so that's nice.
All right. So if you want to catch up to it, so issues.
I was just going to say, I just saw Simpsons reference in there. That's impossible.
If you want issues number 1 through 5, we have all 5 for $24.95. So still a cover price. All right. So now let's get to this week's books. First up, we got Gargoyles Quest number 2, cover A from Clayton Crane. Got that for $4.99.
The joy of Gargoyles fans the past year on social media, especially on Instagram, has been like just fun to read. You know what I mean? Because it's hard when you're a hardcore fan of something and there's no new content for like an extended period of time. These people are, these are like people that like they're starving in the desert, and then they just happen to roll up on like a seaside buffet. They're like so happy now.
Yeah, and they got even more excited when y'all started putting out the collections of the old school stuff, right? People are really excited about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity there. It's sort of
so. I had a friend tell me, okay, he's a good friend of mine. He's a comic collector, but mostly Marvel, DC, right? So he kind of knew where I worked, but kind of didn't because he doesn't read our titles until Space Ghost.
Yep. And
he said something very telling to me. He said, first he asked, are you connected with Dynamite Comics? I'm like, dude, it's where I work. I told you this. Okay. Like a million times. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. And he goes, he was at his LCS in Columbus somewhere, and he was picking up his pull list, and he saw Space Ghost, and he picked up a copy. And he said, what it really did was it brought him back to his childhood. And he said the story was good because it was a little bit harder edged now. Okay, the storyline. So really, it's appealing to that big market of people our age, I guess.
Well,
because we grew up watching
people who like Space Ghost, right? You got the Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which was funny, but
that wasn't really
what people were looking for. Hanna-Barbera,
and they were trying to grab onto the same audience.
Hanna-Barbera was all about adventure, right? There wasn't a lot of humor in that cartoon.
The other thing is, I do want to mention this. At my shop, like Space Ghost did incredibly well. For my shop, I ordered probably way too heavy. That's what I thought, but I was like, whatever, let's do it. It's Space Ghost. It's Dynamite. It's going to be out right around Free Comic Book Day. We sold out of what I thought we were going to have a lot left over, and I'd be pushing it over the next year. No, we're out. We're done. So like and I had the big thing about, when you're a retailer, having a sellout's cool or selling a lot of a book's cool, but then going in and looking at your files and seeing how many people are requesting to add that book to their pool now, that's the big sign. And that happened with Space Ghost.
Right. Rogue, what's going on, man?
Same thing happened with Thundercats. Y'all got to hit
every day. The writer is on every day the writer is on social media trying to get people, like, they're like, I can't find the book anywhere. And he'll kind of like tag an LCS in the guy's area. And like, he's actually, I think he started it way before Free Comic Book Day, but he did the same thing that Gail Simone and a couple other creators do on social media. They're literally trying to connect. Here's your collector, and over here in town is your LCS, and she's trying to put them together. And that's what David is doing over
Stevie B. Yes, a Hulk and Subby taking a bubble bath is at $30. Suggested retail for $149.99. I had it at a special price at $40, but although lots of people watching today, just nobody really moving. So yes, I lowered that to $30.
Yep, that's the Bobby Darin special right there.
XMen 97s. So I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction of Johnny Quest, because to me that in Space Ghost come from, I remember watching it.
They sort of come in the same sort of fan base.
Right. That's Saturday morning cartoon. All right, you got a Stevie B.
That's a really nice cover, man. Good pickup up there.
So I feel like Johnny Quest is going to have that same effect, because
when I saw Chris Samney do the cover, my first thought is that's who you want to do covers like this, right? Because if you're familiar with Chris Samney's work, that's right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what you want to see. And I was just like,
and y'all are picking really great writers to get behind these titles too, that are enthusiastic about the project. David's like really excited about Space Ghost. And Joe Casey is a huge Johnny Quest fan, and this is like the gig of a lifetime for him.
Well, here's the thing.
He is the only other creator I've talked to that has the same hallmark Johnny Quest Christmas ornament that I do. It shows. People thought I was making that up, and I posted a photo for my tree a couple of years ago. And Joe Casey posted it like much further down the chat. He's like, "Oh yeah, I love that. These are awesome." And I said, "See,
I think Robbie, you said it best a few minutes ago. So it's great. You thought you ordered too many and it sold out. Okay, but the true test is how many people add this to their pull list. Because here's the thing, you said that right." It's Space Ghost on the cover. You might buy one, maybe multiple covers, different covers, okay? Because of that sense of nostalgia. But if the story sucks, and you're not ordering number 2, number 3, number 4. And I think what my friend said that really was telling was, he said, Space Ghost, I had to pick it up. It, took me back to my childhood. Then he said to me, the story's really good. He said, I was surprised and how it kind of took a harder edge, and that's how you're going to get people to put it on their pull list, because the story's engaging enough. Because nostalgia will only take you so far. Okay, yes, people will buy number 1 because it's Space Ghost, because they remember something about it in their childhood, they relate to it, they connect to it, and now they have one or multiple copies of different covers, and that's it. But the fact that the storyline has been well written is going to keep them coming.
I think that is what victimized something else. I had this conversation with Mariano, Lost in Space. Even before Netflix and other people started doing it, different people were out there doing Lost in Space as a comic. And I think what would happen is people would be super excited. I mean, the mechanism hasn't really changed that much in buying comics, soliciting comics. The dealers order the comics, right? People heard Lost in Space and they were super excited. And then the story comes and, after a while, you're like, this is just another episode of Lost in Space. And at the time, people were like, I've already got all these on DVD. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it didn't work. I think Space Ghost... and David's dropped a few hints if you follow him on social media. Not spoilers, but, a few things he's working on, a few directions he's going in. And I think that's sort of, I think that's sort of...
Lorena, I did. So along with all the bad movies I watched this weekend, we were supposed to go to Penn State tournament, got rained out. I'm so disappointed. I saw Iron Claw. That was actually an excellent movie. I really enjoyed that one. That was like 1 in 10 that I watched. What?
I've been wanting to watch that. I actually had some friends over. One of them is a professional wrestler, and so we've been wanting to watch it together, and we never could make it happen back when it was in theaters. And so we all got together on Wednesday. We were going to watch it, and that was the day that the tornadoes came through. So we did not watch the movie.
Dude, it was surprisingly good. You know, I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. You know, it's all I could think of. It's High School Musical, except I got muscles now, right? But okay, I'll watch it.
If you're a pro wrestling fan of a certain generation, that whole family, that whole time, that whole era has like a lot of meaning.
Well,
and,
not only that,
you know,
but
things just there was a moment in history where they could do no wrong, and then it's just. You see in the movie, it's just this descent into sort of.
I know it was based.
Misfortune.
I know it was based on a true story. I don't know how much of it. You know, it's always dangerous when they say based on a true story. You know what I'm saying? But the sequence of events that happened to them in a very short period of time is unbelievable. I mean, you're just sitting there going, no way. Okay. You're like, you can guess, sort of anticipate what's going to happen, but in your head, you're going, no way. There is absolutely no way. Okay. And then it happens.
In the movie, they skipped Mike. Is Mike or Chris, the youngest brother? They've had the family just has. I saw people trying to take a modern take on this. And at Sportatorium, exactly. There are people who sort of, you know, the more modern take on this is obviously there's an issue with the family and mental health. But in the 80s, we didn't talk about that a whole lot. And back then we didn't have the internet either. So you would go to shows and everybody would be gossiping, and there would be these literally like hand-typed newsletters that would be photocopied and handed around or sold or whatever. And you were not getting a lot of information. You would go to a show and somebody just wasn't there. And now you're looking years and years later like, oh, I bought a ticket to the Philadelphia Civic Center to see Kevin Von Erich wrestle. And you find out he's at the hospital back in Texas with his brother Mike, and that's why he couldn't make the plane to Philadelphia.
So to me, it was a lot of the stuff that occurred. You could so it was kind of foreshadowed. I think you could sort of see it coming. Okay, but the one that knocked me for a loop was the brother that was in college, the discus thrower.
Okay,
that, you know, when the Olympics got canceled, I remember that. Okay, I was alive. It was a part of, you know, I was young, but I was alive during that time, and that was a big thing back then. You know, Americans are not going to Moscow and blah 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 yada yada. And the fact that they got wrapped up in that, I'm like, oh no, did not see that one coming.
There are a lot of books written now. There was a time where nobody said anything about wrestling, kayfabe, as people know what it's called. Nobody would admit to anything. Now with kayfabe gone, there is a massive amount of information out there told from in the first person. Yes, this happened to me. You know what I mean? If you know a pro wrestler, or you know, I have friends at the Monster Factory, which is a wrestling school in Paulsboro, like, you know, a half hour from here or whatever. And a lot of wrestlers, when they're coming back from injury, will jump in there. This year at WrestleMania, you had a couple of the Eagles jump in the ring for a little bit. They were training down there. So you kind of getting the information, the stories, and it's, especially if you've seen The Wrestler, Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler. Yes, it's sort of idealized, but it's very much how it was.
Yeah.
These are guys that have a folding table and a long box of gimmicks, as they call them, which are, you know, 8x10s and stuff like that. And they're showing up and saying, hey, do you mind if I set up a tiny table and sign some stuff for $10 each? And these guys show up at a high school show or a CYO or whatever. And if they make 80 or 90 bucks, that's how they're paying for their dinner. Maybe they're getting a hotel room. Maybe they're sleeping in their car. The biggest one was Nick Foley. He talked about, yeah, sure, at the end you see me, Mankind, and it's great. He's like, the 10 years before that, I drove around the country in a terrible, terrible car.
Yeah.
And I would get a loaf of white bread, cans of tuna fish, and peanut butter in a store, because that's really all I could afford. And I would park my car in a gas station or somewhere that had a bathroom, go to the bathroom, eat my food, and go to sleep.
Yep. I hope he mixes the peanut butter and the tuna together, at least.
Sometimes it'd be 90 degrees, sometimes it'd be 30 degrees. But the guy literally didn't want to spend the $55 for, like, you know, Motel 6 or whatever.
Right.
And that is way people were like, wow, that's wild. That's unique. That's the way
sucks
it
is
was.
what it was. He was-
Even Dwayne Johnson, the guy's worth what now? $200 million or whatever the figure is. He talked about, having $7 to his name, having to squeeze his giant self into like an Isuzu Amigo and drive around Tennessee to wrestle with borrowed boots, things that didn't fit right. And sometimes, he admitted it. Like he would run up and order food and just grab it and drive off and not pay for it or whatever because, he's like, I needed that $10.
Hey, Joseph Hardy, thanks for joining us, man. All right, so to continue on, we have Gargoyles Quest number 2, cover B by Jay Lee. We have it at, of course, cover price.
Jay Lee's in like the phase of his life where he can do no wrong.
I'm sure he'd be very happy to hear that.
No, but I'm just saying,
I'm not going to tell y'all what to do, but I would highly encourage somebody to put together a project of Jay Lee Dynamite covers in like a nice hardcover edition. I would buy the heck out of that, 100%.
Oh, that was mentioned to the publisher when I got my John Cassaday Art of Dynamite book. You know who'd be great for this? Take the book and get out, I was told.
All right, next up, we have Gargoyles Quest number 2, cover C by Drew Moss, also for $4.99.
Oh, this is nice too.
All right, and then we have Gargoyles Quest number 2, cover E, Clayton Crane Virgin, and we have that for $50. All right, and ooh, that is nice, isn't it?
And that's just oof.
It's like you can see that hanging on somebody's wall. All right, so if you want to catch up, we have Gargoyles Quest number 1 available at cover at $4.99. All right, so next up, one of our Disney titles, Hercules number 2A, cover A by George Cambadias, and we have that for $4.99. Ron, what's up? All right.
Hey, Ron.
Since Ron's in the room.
Yeah, you might want to jump back.
We're going to go back.
He missed.
We're going to go back and do a Rex cap on the sketch covers. Yes, we'll do that. Because it's our group's small enough. We're personal.
Because we got some good ones and had some really,
Ron,
really
we have
stuff really good prices. And I'm like, Ron's probably thinking, like, why didn't you tell me that?
Well, Ron, then you weren't here. All right, so here we go. From the top, a Rex cap of sketch covers. With number 1, we've got Wonder Woman number 1, signed with Wonder Woman cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it $75, lowered that to $60. Then we have Devil Slayer cover sketch collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99. We had it $75. Lowered that to $60. Then we have Hulk number 1, signed with Steranko homage cover sketch of the Hulk by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it $75. Lowered that to $60. All right, and these are all of the new XMen 97s. All right, Immortal Thor number 1, signed with XMen 97's Cyclops cover sketch by, hold on, Ron, new artist Tracy Medina. So we've added a new artist to the group, and suggested retail of $129.99. We had it $75 tonight. We're gonna have an X-Men 97 special, so we've got it at $65. Then we have Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin number 1, signed with Nightcrawler X-Men 97 cover sketch by Tony Scott. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it $75. I lowered that to $65. All right. Then we had the Immortal Thor number 1, signed with Beast X-Men 97 cover sketch by Jessica Court. Suggested retail of $129.99. We have it for $75. We had it for $75. I lowered that to $65. And then, oh, nope, CVB picked that one up. That's it, Ron. So hey, let us know if there's anything you're interested in. Powerpuff Girls. I do not.
Not yet. That just got solicited for June or July, right? Yeah.
I was just gonna say, we do Powerpuff Girls here at Dynamite, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he was asking if we had any sketch covers. I assume. That's all we've been doing, other than the new.
Who's in charge of sketch covers? Let's get them in here to discuss.
Mariano.
No wonder,
call him at home.
No wonder how he went hauling at it.
Frequently. He likes that. Trust me. Don't tell him I said so. All
I
right.
said to ring you. It's only 10:30.
Oh, man, his wife will kill you. All right. So we'll go back to this week's books. All right. Give Ron a chance to digest. I will tell you the new artist, Tracy Medina, we're going to see more of her because nice work. Up there with Jessica Court, Dan Needlinger, Tony Scott. All right, you got it, Ron.
I hadn't seen that book, but when Mariano saw it, he went out of his way to say, "You're going to see this. It's really."
You know
good.
what? And I don't mean to disparage, in any way the other artists that Mariano's found. Gotcha, Ron. All right, hold on. Let's see. Ron,
I'm not saying this to be mean. No.
But like John, I plan to. Nightcrawler, Ron. Gotcha, Ron. Gotcha on both, bud. All right. So I want to say that they were all good, but it seems like lately Mariano's kind of reached, like, I don't know where he's finding these people. It's just they all are, when I first saw Jessica Court's work, I was very impressed. Dan Neidlinger, Tony Scott. Now we've got this artist, Tracy Medina, in it. And they all seem to be on that same level. I don't know what it is. Something in the water, maybe. I don't know. But he's doing a great job finding these new artists. Of course, we need them for work like, the Dynamite artwork that goes in our books. Obviously, sketch cards for card sets that we produce. But it's just been phenomenal seeing the work that's coming out of these people. It's been really cool. All right. Next up, we got Hercules #2, cover B, Matteo Loli. I got that for cover price at $4.99.
Again, the Disney Channel people are so happy. Those people who were into Disney Channel in the 90s, early 2000s, all their books are here.
All right.
Jessica Court is amazing.
Yeah, she is. She is.
I would not to take anything away from Mariano, but I would like to kind of pry her away from him and get her with one of the publishers like Joe Rybrant or Nick Cosby or something on something else. Not covers. I'd like to see her do.
Don't you have a movie to see, Retired Guy?
I'm the market. I'm exactly what you're trying to do.
I don't want her pried away doing too much work for Dynamite because then I don't get any of the sketch covers. Okay? Stay in your lane there, retired dude. Okay? Put your family in hotels and watch movies with them.
I wouldn't mind seeing her in the umbrella book.
And then pay for their food at where'd you go?
Right now they're at Yard House having drinks and apps, and we'll figure out where we're going for dinner.
I am very disappointed that we did not go to Penn State. I found a brewery in Penn State that my daughter and I were going to go to. I'm very disappointed about that. But that's the story for after the last break. All right. So Hercules #2, cover C by Francesco Tomaselli. And we've got that for $4.99. All right. Then we got Hercules #2, cover D by Alessandro Rinaldi. Also cover price of $4.99. All right. Then we have Hercules #2, cover E by George Cambadias, the foil version. And we've got that for $9.99.
I love the foil versions. These covers are very cool.
Yeah, they are.
And then Hercules #2, cover F, Matteo Loli, virgin cover. And we've got that for $50. All right. And if you missed out on Hercules #1, we have that in stock at cover price at $4.99. And that will catch you up as to what's happening in this new series. All right. So then we'll do Justice Ducks. And then, we have some trade paperbacks tonight, too. For anybody that is
we have Thundercats Book of Elements or something?
We've got a whole bunch, actually. I'll tell you. We'll go through them when we get back from break. All right. So we have Justice Ducks number 3, cover A by Jay Lee, the man that can do no wrong.
Oh man, look at Jay Lee doing Gizmo Duck. That's so freaking cool.
All right, we got that at cover price of $3.99.
It's a good time to be alive in the comic book, man. It really is. You're seeing stuff that I don't know if I said 15 years ago you would see this. You'd be like, yeah, sure, okay, man.
Okay, so Stevie B, unfortunately, the Gobbler is out of season.
Unfortunately, the Gobbler is out of season.
It doesn't come back until what, like September?
I think the Gobbler's probably a properly equipped Gobbler at Wawa's probably like $11.
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, double meat, double side. I mean, I'm not.
No, you get the double meat.
It says properly, doesn't it? If you want to feed them right, that's double meat, double cheese.
All right, so the normal Gobbler for normal people is about, with tax, I'd say about $6, right?
$6-7.
Yeah.
Do they have like a spring summer special sandwich that they do, or is it just for like fall?
Nothing is just, but they do have seasonal sandwiches. Nothing is as popular as the Gobbler.
Yeah.
People like started asking for. I've been in Wawa in August, and people are like, "Where are we on the Gobbler?" And I'm like, "It is August.
I'd eat it year
round. This is
round.
108 degrees out. What
I would eat it year round if they made
Thank
it
you,
available.
Jay. I actually did post my own Gobbler. I turned the Gobbler into a grilled cheese sandwich on Instagram, and
yeah, I remember that.
People apparently there was a Facebook group that made it like their
never
photo of the month. It was very nice of them. I appreciate it.
We just read an article that Alabama's getting our first Wawa. I don't know how far away it's going to be from me, but
let me tell you,
everything's in play now. Wawa's moving south. You've got stuff like Royal Farms moving north. People are saying even like In-N-Out is in Texas now.
Yeah,
and Texas just got a Tony Luke. So everywhere is in play now.
So
we're getting an In-N-Out. I know we're getting an In-N-Out, so that's neat.
Dwayne's a pain. It's fine. I mean, again,
their meatball sandwich at 2 p.m. is good. Their meatball sandwich at 2 a.m. is
phenomenal.
Awesome.
Because there's nowhere else to get one at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you had pepperoni, you had salami, you had hot peppers, you had the roasted peppers, double provolone cheese.
So I got to tell you, the most disappointing thing is late at night, you get there and you order something and they tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're out of that." And then when it's that late, I get really annoyed. I go, well, why is it still on the computer? "Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get a chance to take it off." Well, you didn't take it off. Okay. All right. So TJ, Anti-Fragile. That was the one I had picked out to go to. So very disappointed. We got rained out. It was, look, they had heavy rain, nothing to do.
And yes, CVB, that's actually a good analogy. The Gobbler is the Malamar of Wawa. Malamar, apparently there's like a Malamar Facebook group where their sole purpose is to let you know when and where the Malamar sightings are.
Oh, all right. So let me make this clear. So there are 2 giveaways tonight. The first one is, Jay, if you throw it up again, #EXP Planet of the Apes.
Oh, look at that.
The second giveaway.
That's nice.
All right. Is this Archie book. Now, this one's a little different. You have to guess how many times, okay, John has seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We will tell you that the number is between 1 and 20. Okay, so to kind of cap it off for you guys. And the person who guesses correctly, okay, wins that one. Now, granted, I realize that some of you may not have seen the early part of the show, but literally John just kind of dropped it real quick. And if you weren't really paying attention, if Becky Bate was here, she would have been paying attention. But I did not see her in the house today.
She was messing around, man.
So more than likely you missed it. I'm going to confirm with John that my number is correct. Okay. And then I'm going to have Jay keep track. Okay. So we got to go to our last and final break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
So the show is called The Geek Chat. And really, there's just a couple of geeks.
I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
And we are your hosts for this weekly guide into comic bookery and all the geeky stuff that goes with it.
And that pretty much says it all. They talk about the latest movies and shows.
Okay, I'll be completely honest with you. overall, D+ movie.
So the end. Did you know who that is?
That's She-Ra. Yeah.
Yes.
The new #1 comics of the week.
We rep Samuel Jackson and we rep Mace Windu.
I passed on this. I was like,
no regrets.
No regrets. I really wanted to like this book. I really did. Like, I really did.
And just chat with each other. And with you.
Oh, Daniel says, I dosed off with the first one. I have zero interest in the Joker Harley ship, not Harley herself. Enjoy, not for me. Yeah, this movie's going to be rough for me to sit through, I'll be honest.
The Geek Chat, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just a couple of honest geeks.
Let's be honest. Come on.
And that is why people watch us, because we're honest.
Giving their honest opinions.
And the thing you always have to remember about the internet is everyone has an opinion, and they all suck.
Part of the experience.
Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons in Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
All right, we're back. All right, you really had to
poking around on Mariano's desk, not me.
You really had to pay attention because I thought I knew the number. I got it wrong. So I'm sitting right next to the guy. Let me see. So I informed Jay of what the real number is. Okay, so you were right, John. Good for you.
It just popped up, and I remember thinking, yeah.
All right, so we'll announce the winner at the end. All right. So what was I doing? All right. Let's get through Justice Sucks. So we have Justice Sucks number 3, cover B by Roger Landridge. And we have that at cover of $3.99.
Castle has arrived.
Big John, what's up?
What's going on, man?
All right. Then
John's going to be on PCP movie night tonight.
Oh, cool.
Is he? What is it, 10 o'clock? 9:30?
9 Eastern.
Well, 9 Eastern.
Yeah. So, all right. So then we have Justice Sucks number 3, cover C by Francesco Tomaselli. And we have that for cover price at $3.99. Then we have Justice Sucks number 3, cover D by Trish Forstner. At cover price of $3.99. All right. Then we have, if you need need to catch up on Justice Sucks, we have issues number 1 and 2 at cover price for a total of $7.98. All right. Then we have Thundercats number 2, cover ZC 1:10 ratio, line art signed by Declan Shalvey. And we've got that for $29.99. Only 75 of these were signed.
74 are available.
There you go. All right. So now the trade paperbacks. All right. We have Disney Villains Maleficent trade paperback issues number 1 through 5. We have that for $13.99. All right, these are trade paperbacks. Okay, then we have Disney Villains Maleficent hardcover number 1 through 5, and that is $19.99.
I'm a huge fan of this Maleficent series. She is one of my absolute favorite Disney villains. Sue Lee is a great artist and a great storyteller, and she did a heck of a job on this. I'm excited to see what she's going to do writing the Shitara book coming up.
At first, like, you wouldn't think about it, and then you're like, after you read like a page or two of Maleficent, you're like, yeah, she's the perfect writer for this, the perfect creator for that.
And to answer Triple B out there, Sue Lee was the writer and illustrator of Maleficent.
Yes. There's just a synergy, and I'm certainly not, disparaging the normal dynamic, but there just is a certain flow and synergy to stories. I mean, like John Byrne, Frank Miller, when somebody writes and draws stuff.
All right. So next up, we have Darkwing Duck Volume 1, Foul Play, trade paperback, issues number 1 through 6, and we've got that for $19.99. All right, and then we have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Volume 3, Which Way to the Apocalypse, trade paperback. Issues number 9 through 12, and we got that for $17.99.
Great pickup, Ronald.
Hardcover, you got it, Ron.
Yeah, Ron, that book looks good. It's both, actually. Somebody asked. There's a Jay Lee cover and a Sue Lee cover for Maleficent, unless I'm misremembering it. I think there's cover for both, right?
I believe you are correct. Okay, gotcha, Ron. All right. Let me see. All right, then we have Deja Thoris, Crimson Genesis, Volume 4, numbers 1 through 6. And we've got that for $19.99. And then, of course, we've got Vampirella versus Red Sonja trade paperback, issues number 1 through 5 for $19.99. And that takes care of it. All right. So we got Big John. Big John. Hey, John, tell me, did you request something to be commissioned? I'm just trying to remember because something came in. It was the Punisher homage cover. Punisher from the miniseries, I think. The one where he's shooting through the window.
Oh, okay.
Was that you, Big John? I can't remember. We're going to look tomorrow, but if it is you, that was my first guess. Save us trouble looking. Send it your way. You want me to get it so you can see it? All right. Hold on. Let me go get it.
Where is it?
I'll get it. You won't be able to find it. Just speak. Talk about nothing.
I was going to say, are you sure? I'm pretty familiar with where all the comics are at everybody's desk.
You got an inventory going on in your head, John?
But another thing, Robbie, that I wanted to mention, totally out of left field, but one of the reasons that I really liked The Thing from Another World is the writer was influenced by H.P. Lovecraft. And if you kind of know H.P. Lovecraft a little bit and then watch the movie, you see it. I watched the movie and I didn't find out about the H.P. Lovecraft thing till probably 25 years later when I was an adult. And there's a whole list of writers that were Lovecraft's contemporaries and then writers that came right after that, like a pulp generation that was influenced by what he did. And apparently the creator, the original writer of Halt Who Goes There, was one of those people.
Real quick, Big John, is this you? Because I got to locate who it was. If it was you, say so. Or did you get the first one? I remember we had it the first time. Somebody else wanted one. I thought it was you, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let me know, Big John.
Looks good.
Triple B, to answer your question, you know what? I remember them in a weird way. Like if someone asked me to just start doing dialogue from 30 minutes into a movie, I probably wouldn't be able to. But when I'm sitting in the movie, a lot of times I find myself like this because my lips are moving. And I don't want to annoy anyone in the theater by oh, God, dude, shut up, which is kind of why I always sit. My seat in almost every theater is the farthest corner. You know what I mean? Away from people. So I can just sort of, enjoy my sushi.
All right. So, your sushi. Only man gets grub up at the movie theater. All right, so.
They were happy to deliver it there.
No, we cannot, Marcus. Okay, Big John. All right, buddy.
Awesome.
So it is here.
It seems like that's something. I mean, not only does it look awesome, but it kind of seems like,
All right. John.
That is really, man.
All right, John will email and work it out, buddy. because I don't even remember what price. I got to look. If you remember, email me with that, me and Amy. Okay, bud? Just.
What Dynamite is doing with some of these books now, like Thundercats, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, is kind of what they did in like 2014 and 15.
Right.
When they started really pushing heavily with like Lone Ranger, Green Hornet, all those kind of books. Essentially what they did was there were people who there was no one out there, and then they pick it up, and then through that they wind up. Good friend of mine, first time he picked up a comic in his adult life was he picked up a Lone Ranger comic, and that led him to Vampirella, which now he is a regular reader of Vampirella, Superpowers, Red Sonja, Dark Powers. He kind of went through the whole thing, and he wouldn't have done it if he hadn't seen Lone Ranger at my house. He's like, the Lone Ranger still out in comics? I was like, yeah. I said, there's a company right here in town that's doing it.
Big John, we'll get it invoiced out to you tomorrow.
And I think we're going to see that again. Where you're going to see people that are, people are picking up their Disney books, they're picking up their Warner Brothers books, and it's going to lead them into other stuff, other creators. People follow creators. I mean, you look at the back of a book and you're like, oh, wow, this is really good. Oh, they're doing Thundercats too? I didn't know. And are the Herculoids next? Poor Nick. I don't know how many times I've pestered him about everything from Hanna-Barbera. Next is...
You mean today?
Power. Just today. Powerpuff Girls,
yeah,
is kind of next after Johnny Quest. I mean, like Johnny Quest isn't even out yet, but I would say next is.
All right, so let's do a quick Rex cap for Big John, since he joined us a little bit late on the sketch covers that we had available that are left. All right, so Big John and everybody else out there, if you joined us a little bit late, here is a quick Rex cap. So first up, we have Wonder Woman #1, signed with Wonder Woman cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. It's just a retail of $129.99. We had it $75. We lowered that to $60. All right, Devil Slayer cover sketch collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. It's just a retail of $149.99, and we have it tonight at $60. All right. Then next up, we have Hulk #1, signed with Steranka Homage cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it for $75. We lowered that to $60. And then last one that's left anyway. The Immortal Thor #1, signed with Beast X-Men 97 cover sketch by Jessica Court. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it for $75. I lowered that to $65. All right.
I'm really surprised this is kind of still here.
Yeah,
Jay just mentioned it too. I don't know if people are just like a little too laid back and dialed out tonight or whatever, which is fine. I mean, it happens, but some of the stuff.
I mean, it almost looks like a screen grab from the animated series.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's exactly.
She is amazing. I got to tell you. Dark Tower. CIB, can you do me a favor? Hit the hit submission form, because, or you can email me and Amy, either way. And remind us of that, because I'm going to write it down, but I'm probably going to forget. Big John, all right, you're going to claim the Thor. You got it, John. And we'll see in the morning, and we will look, my friend. All right? All right, you got it, Big John. I got you down.
Email, not a John email, right?
What?
You mean an actual?
Oh no,
email
everybody else, the emails come through. I just, the John folder. I don't even know where it is. I lost
Well,
it.
it's so funny because
It's somewhere on the server.
That day,
It's
Mariano was
Dynamite
going to
server.
say email me, and I'm like, oh, I get it. He's like, no, really, I'll actually read. It was so funny the way he said it because he knows.
You did tell him not to email me because I won't be able to forward it, right? Because I don't even know where that folder is.
Just text me. Mariano gets my texts at, I wouldn't do it at night or anything, but he'll get my like weird texts. Like he'll get a text
after 2 a.m. He enjoys that.
No, like it was like Saturday afternoon. I was watching like an Irwin Allen show, and I was like, "Well, what about this?" And he's probably the only other person I know that loves Irwin Allen TV like I did. I was like, man, I just finished season 3 of Voice to the Bottom of the Sea, and now I got to buy season 4.
I love that series, by the way. I love Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
It's very. My folder looks like the trash icon. That's exactly right, Jay. Yeah, there's a certain charm and simplicity to that stuff. From like people hear Irwin Allen, the first thought is Lost in Space, and I totally get it. But there's some stuff he did before that, and he just has a way of telling stories for television, very different than his movies. The movies like Towering Inferno and stuff like that, different, but he kind of, I guess, understood what he could get away with on TV.
Right. All right. So, all right, let's do a quick recap of the rest of the stuff before we run out of time. All right. So
that's one of the things I pestered Nick about.
What is
time tunnel? I said I have questions about blah blah, and he's. I see poor Nick. He's like, is there any way I can get out of this office because he's blocking the door, please?
So, all right. So, last chance on Space Ghost at cover price. We have issue number 1. We have cover A by Matina, cover B by Jay Lee, cover C by Bjorn Berens, cover D by Michael Cho, cover U by Alex Toth, and cover F by Francesco Matina. It's the foil version. They are all $4.99 except for the foil, which is $9.99. And we have, cover F by another foil version. This is a website special, and we've got that at $29.99. And then we got Space Ghost number 1, cover I, Francesco Matina version, and for $50. And then we got cover E, which is the blank, and cover V, which is the black blank. It's cover E. The white blank is cover V. And then we have Space Ghost number 1, Michael Cho foil, Dynamite.com exclusive. And we have that for $29.99. All right. So then, all right, we did the sketch covers. Let's do last week and this week's books real quick again. That should leave us just enough time to do the drawing.
Giveaways, right?
Yeah. All right. So last week's books. Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, number 2. And we still have them at cover price. Covers A, B, C, D, F, and E. Why is F, A? I don't know. All right. And anyway, we've got that at cover price of $4.99. If you want to catch up on the series, we still have Empire of the Damned, Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, number 1, at cover price of $4.99. All right. Okay, Tom Bishop, 1 each. Okay. Tom.
Would the next book be Dead Air?
Yes.
I was trying to think of something to say, and I couldn't think of anything.
Was the next book Dead Air?
All right. So we got you, Tom Bishop. All right. So then we have let's see. Oh, wait. So Tom, each of the covers of number 1, or are you talking about the catch-up? Oh, no, you wouldn't be talking about the catch-up. All right, never mind. All right. Wheel of Time, The Great Hunt, number 6. Got that at $4.99. If you want covers number 1 through 5, we can get them to you at cover price. Total of $24.95. And now we have this week's books. Gargoyle's Quest, number 2, cover A, Clayton Crane. Cover price $4.99. Number 2, cover B by Jay Lee. We've got that for $4.99. Gargoyles Quest number 2, cover C by Drew Moss. I got that at $4.99. We've got cover E, Clayton Crane, the Virgin cover at $50. And if you want Gargoyles Quest number 1, we can get that to you so you can catch up at cover price of $4.99. Then we have Hercules number 2, cover A by George Campadias, $4.99. Gargoyles number 2, cover B by Matteo Loli, got that at $4.99. Hercules #2, cover C by Francesco Tomaselli. Got that for $4.99. Hercules #2, cover D, Alessandro Rinaldi. Okay, at $4.99. All right, and Hercules #2, cover E, George Campbell's foil at $9.99. Hercules #2, cover F, Matteo Loli Virgin cover at $50. And if you want Hercules #1, we can get that to you cover price of $4.99. Catch you up on the series. All right, then we have Justice Ducks #3A by Jay Lee for $3.99.
That's a great cover, man.
Yeah, that's just
Justice Ducks #3B by Roger Landridge for $3.99. Justice Ducks #3, cover C by Francesco Tomaselli for $3.99. Justice Ducks #3, cover D by Trish Forstner. If you want to catch up on the series, we can get Justice Ducks #1 through and 2 for you a cover for $7.98 total. Then we got Thundercats #2, cover ZC 1:10 ratio line art signed by Declan Shalvey. Only 75 were signed. All right, now we got the trade paperbacks. Disney Villains Maleficent trade paperback issues #1 through 5. Got that for $13.99. Disney Villains Maleficent hardcover issues #1 through 5 for $19.99. Then Darkwing Duck Volume 1 Foul Play trade paperback issues #1 through 6 for $19.99. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Volume 3, Which Way to the Apocalypse trade paperback, issues #9 through 12 for $17.99. Deja Thoris, Crimson Genesis, Volume 4, issues #1 through 6 for $19.99. Vampirella versus Red Sonja trade paperback, issues #1 through 5 for $19.99. And that does it. All right.
Real quick one, before we do the drawing. Depending on where you are in the country, depending how late your store is still open, you probably still have time. Today is going to be the cutoff, the last day, for you to let your LCS know to order Space Ghost #2. Because, well, no, I get these notifications and stuff like that, and like, yeah, maybe sure they'll order enough. Maybe they won't. Different stores have different mindsets, different.
Today's also FOC for the new Vampirella book as well.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jay, I think it's time to spin the wheel for the first giveaway. If you could flash that up again.
Well, I
it is a Virgin.
Bad when I see that stuff on social media, like I can't find the book and I've been to 3 stores. And I'm like,
all right. So,
that's nice.
So, everybody hashtag, you get it in. Last chance. All right, let's spin that wheel, Jay. Sound effects now.
Yeah. Well, we should really have them.
And 23 March. All right, 23 March. Hopefully you're still watching. Gonna need you to fill out the submission form. So we have your email and your ship to address so we can send you the prize, my friend. All right.
Congratulations.
So the second one is you had to guess how many times John saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. All right. I thought I knew, but I was wrong. Okay. So here's the thing. Somebody's already guessed it. We already determined who it was. And the answer is, the winner is rather Triple B for guessing 6. John has seen it 6 times.
Congratulations.
It came out on Thursday. It's Monday. Okay, Monday.
Well,
okay.
They're sort of. I mean, when
you've seen it more times than days it's been out.
When you spoon feed me the content I want, I'm going to consume it. That's just, You know what I mean? Like I was trying to explain that there were, when an Avengers movie would come out or Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out, I just went to the theater and stayed there all day. And people are like, how can you do that? And then I explained to them my theater is attached to a mall, which is surrounded by restaurants, and I can literally walk to a yard house. I don't even have to go out to my car.
John, you've seen it more days than it's been out. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You know what? Like I said, I would think maybe this is probably the last one they're going to do for at least for a while. They did a great job. I think the special effects. People are always talking about movie special effects. They've maintained a pretty consistent level of good special effects in the Planet of the Apes movies. There's nothing that's been cringe-worthy. You know, you've looked at it and been like, you know, you spent $200 million, spend $201 million and get it right. So, all right, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on Pop Culture Philosophers, they are reviewing Risky Business with Tom Cruise. If you, so be sure to tune in and watch. If you are watching this on Rewind, we will honor any prices tonight, provided it did not sell out.
This is 32 and 8 years. Marcus, ironically, there is a gym at that mall. Orange something. I see people going over there all the time. And I know they're thinking, dude, you should be coming over with me. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to sit here and have a beer until the next showing of Planet of the Apes. So good luck, man.
So we'll be back Wednesday from 7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, what's next on the Experience?
Nothing, actually, I believe. Jay, am I incorrect?
10:30, 9:30?
What's up tonight?
Correct. There's actually the Devil's Advocates at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. They're going to be asking, what makes you stop reading comic?
I get to the end of it. Don't bother the show. I just answered it. You're all good.
Detective
Robbie,
545.
You said Castle was going to be on movie night with you, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Awesome. I'll be
Check that
watching.
out as well, for sure.
Detective 545. No problem, buddy. You can watch the Rewind if there's any. As I said, we had a lot of sketch covers tonight. I know that's kind of up your alley. If there's anything that you want, we still have. If it didn't sell, we'll honor the price that you see on the Rewind. But again, we appreciate everyone that in the group tonight was fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. Anyone who's new or maybe getting started for the first time, click the pinned comment at the front of the link so we have your
So Detective, just email me and Amy, and if we have it, it's yours, buddy. All right,
Robbie, thanks for joining us, man.
As always, and good luck with Risky Business.
It's going to be a fun conversation for sure.
I can't wait to see what's deep about it. There are hidden messages.
There actually is.
It's very deep. It's a very deep
I mentioned it a week or two ago on the show, talking to Robbie or whatever, and I just turned it on and watched it. And I was like, this movie is better than I remembered it being.
Everybody remembers the dancing scene.
Everybody remembers the dancing in the underwear or whatever.
No, I remember them. I mean, I remember the rest of the movie. But anyway, because who was the woman? What was her name?
Monet.
Yeah, I had the hugest crush on her. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you,
a great
Jay,
night,
for
a great
pushing
week.
all the
We'll see you Wednesday. Don't forget, movie night tonight. Take care.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.